The recipe I'm going to share with you today is something I have very fond memories of growing up in South Africa. And my family have been passing this recipe down for a couple generations, and it is just delicious. Today we're going to be making bobotie. It's really difficult to describe what bobotie tastes like if you've never had it before. It's kind of a curried mince with a sweetness and a tang to it, and it's just, it's very Moorish, very delicious. It goes great in the summertime, the wintertime. Personally, I like to have it on a cold winter's evening. It's just perfect for that time of year. And we are coming into winter now. The nights are getting colder, so I'm really looking forward to having this. I haven't had it for a little while now. The recipe I'm showing you today is my family recipe. However, I've obviously added a little something extra because I like things a bit spicier. So you can either take it or leave it. I'll mention what that is in just a bit. Another thing to mention before we get started with the recipe, I am putting together a recipe book. I have mentioned this before on my social media and a few of my videos as well. The book is almost done, got a few more things to finish on it, and hopefully it should be in your hands before Christmas time. This recipe, of course, will be in it, and a bunch of others as well. So I'm looking forward to getting that out there and into your guys' hands. A lot of you have been asking for it, so just letting you know that. But let's get started with putting this together. Like I said, this is quite an easy recipe, but there are a few ingredients. So let's quickly go through them. I'll put the amounts that you need of each of these up on the screen. We have some whole milk, we have some turmeric, we have some Madras chili paste, we have some Mrs. Ball's chutney. This is just a peach chutney made in South Africa. It's fantastic stuff if you can get hold of it. But if you can't, then any old sweetish sort of peach chutney would do great. And here we have some sultanas. Don't replace the sultanas with raisins. Raisins are a bit too sweet and it won't go really well with this. We have over here my little extra addition. This is some leftover chili mash from one of my fermentations that I've done. This is a pretty hot one, this. So it's really up to you. You can add quite a bit more if you want, or a little bit less, or leave this out completely. It's up to you. We have some bay leaves and we have some salt underneath there. We have some Worcester sauce as well as some brown vinegar. We have some eggs, onion, garlic, and we have our mince. And then lastly down here, 2 slices of bread. So let's get started and get our preparation done. You're gonna take this bread and stick it inside the milk and let it soak that up. And we'll come back to that in just a little while. Get it on a medium temperature and you wanna add your butter. So I just absolutely love the smell of frying onions. So I've added there all the onions as well as the garlic. This isn't a very garlicky dish. If you wanted a bit more garlicky, then I wouldn't recommend adding more. What I would do is wait until the end before you add the garlic. So just before we do the last step, because cooking it at this stage is going to cook out a lot of that flavor. So you're not trying to actually fry the onions. You don't want to brown them. You just want to soften them. And it won't take too long. Once the onions have softened, you want to then start adding some other ingredients. First up is our Madras chili paste. You can make this yourself, but store-bought is pretty good as well, so that's all I'm using, being a bit lazy. Oh, smells in here are incredible. You're going to add your chutney. The Worcester sauce and vinegar. And your turmeric. So you're not going to add all the turmeric, you just want to leave a little pinch at the end because that's going to be used at the end of the recipe. There we go, just a little. Now we're going to add the bread. So what you want to do is you take the bread out, you want to just squeeze out the excess milk. You don't have to be too exacting with this, just try and get out as much as you can. And then you want to mash that up into this mix. Get your hands dirty here. We're then going to add our mince as well, once we just give this a quick stir. So just try and break the mince up. Use good quality mince, it really makes a difference. Once you've got the mince mixed in a little bit, then it's time to add the sultanas. Personally, I'm not actually a fan of raisins or sultanas, but it just works so well in this dish that I don't mind it too much. You now want to add your 2 bay leaves. We're going to be using the other bay leaves in just a bit. And you also want to add in your chili. So my chili mash, to really spice that up. You want to turn the heat down so that it's barely a simmer. You really don't want to cook this too much here because we are going to be baking this, and that will really finish it off properly. All we're trying to do here is get the mince to not be pink anymore, not necessarily brown it, but you do want it to lose that pink color. You're going to be beating your eggs into a bowl. Just use a whisk, beat them up. Once you've beaten the eggs for a little bit, then you want to add the milk and beat that in as well. And finally, you want to add your turmeric, the little bit that you left over. And you also want just a pinch of salt in there. Traditionally, I don't know why, but we've always made our bobotie in an oval dish like this. Once you've leveled that out, then you want to take your milk and egg mixture and you want to just pour that on top, just gently. There we go, that is ready to go in the oven. One other thing to point out, you can set this up the night before if you want, and it's ready to go the next day if you want to prepare the dish earlier, but I wouldn't let it sit for too much longer than that before cooking because obviously we are using milk and eggs. One last thing to add is a couple bay leaves on the top. And that now is ready to go into the oven. One other thing to point out, it's a little trick that that my mother showed me. It seems to help this stay nice and moist, is put this dish inside a larger dish that has water in it. So sort of like a bain-marie, but not really. And that'll make sure that this is kept nice and moist. If you don't have another dish, then it's not a problem. It just might dry out a little bit, but it'll still taste amazing. There you have it, fresh out of the oven. This is looking perfect. So there's only one thing left to do, and that's give it a taste. Let me just cool it down a little bit because it is fresh out of the oven. That is delicious. It's always good. You really can't go wrong with this. Excuse me if I have something in my teeth, but like I say, you can't really go wrong with this. It is a really simple recipe and it just tastes delicious. I do hope that you make this for yourself, and let me know in the comments below what you think if you do make it. If you make your own bobotie and you have your own family recipe as well, let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested to see what other people put in their bobotie. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, stay spicy.